on Facebook. These questions are being asked repeatedly. Now I'll be showing you those questions. You look at those questions, you read some of the comments, you ask yourself if the person has actually asked a wrong question. You ask yourself, this person asking this type of question, is this person a real farmer? Is this person actually in for this business? Is this person actually ready for catfish farming business? Or is this person just trying to get information? When you look at the questions I'll be showing you now, you understand that there are a lot of work you need to do before venturing into catfish farming in whatever form. Now, read the questions yourself. That post saying, no suggestion, thank you admin. Now, the next person that would have answered this question that claims to know it, instead of answering the question being asked, he now says, get mentor or join my online and residential training. Phone number, fish rearing is not what you calculate from head, okay? Now, you see what I'm telling you, people? The essence of videos I'm making is to give you a detailed information on catfish farming freely. You don't need to join or call me on phone. All you need to do is to subscribe to this YouTube channel and you'll be getting everything you need about catfish farming business. You can call me through this channel. I will give you free information on anything you might need. I'll give you the free information, no payment. Now let's go back to the question. The question says, how many kg of feed can 1,000 fishes eat at a time? Now, this question is confusing. If you digest it deeper, I might even tell you that the person who made this post might not actually know the right question is he or she is asking. How many kg of fish can 1,000 catfish eat at a time? Now, before you provide answer to this question, you must first of all ask. Before you get answer to questions like this, you must first of all ask a relative direct question. Now, when we talk about 1,000 catfishes, we have 1,000 fingerlings, we have 1,000 juvenile, we have 1,000 jumbo size juvenile, we have 1,000 drying size catfish, and we have 1,000 table size catfish. Now, the question inside this question now is, which of these stages of the catfish are you asking this question for? For you to get a reasonable answer, you have to state their stage of their growth. Knowing the stage these fishes are, one can actually say, okay, this is how this question should be. But now let me give you a direct answer to this question without knowing whether it is post-fingerling, juvenile, drying size, or table size. The answer is that there is no where and how you can measure the feed you will feed your fishes at a particular point in time, unless you don't want to feed those fishes well. In my previous video, I have taught how to feed your catfish very well. You feed your catfish to satisfaction by bringing the feed you want to feed them. When you open the bag of the feed, you measure, you have already know the quantity of catfish in those ponds. You start pouring the feed gently. You start giving them, feeding them gently, observing how they are rushing the feed, observing how their eating pattern is going. It is in this process now that you have started feeding these fishes. You can be able to see that within 3 to 5 minutes, their rush towards the feed had reduced. You will start observing that the fishes are no more rushing the feed, that the few of the feed are now floating on top of the water. At this point, they have fed to satisfaction. You pack your bag of feed and take it inside. Now, if you want to now measure the kg they consumed, what we have to do is this. Measure the feed from the bag, scale it. Now go on to feed the fish. After feeding them, the remaining one of that feed, scale it back. Let's assume now that before feeding those fishes, you scale the feed and you got 10 kg. Or full bag, the 15 kg feed bag. You scale it. Now you go on to feed your fish. Once you have fed your fishes to satisfaction, come back and scale that feed, the remaining one. If you scale it, it gives you 10 kg. What it means is that your fishes actually consume 5 kg. You can use that 5 kg now and start the build-up and continue feeding your fishes 5 kg at each of their feeding time. But funny enough, catfish's feeding patterns varies. You might scale those feed that time and the fishes didn't feed well because they might not be too active. Now you say, okay, because they have consumed 5 kg, I'll be giving them 5 kg. No. Those fishes, vice versa, might be in their very active moment to feed. You might scale those feed that time and have consumed 10 kg, and subsequent ones you come back to give them 10 kg, you will find out that they will not consume all, and the remnants of those feed will end up polluting your pond, and it will lead to economic waste, meaning you have wasted your feed. So the best pattern in feeding your catfish is not actually determining how many kg of feed that can feed 1,000 catfishes at a go, but rather feeding them properly. Feeding them. Take their feed to the pond, slowly feed them, and watch them rush the feed. Most of the times they can feed more, sometimes they can feed lesser. So now, from that question now, you find out that we have done justice to it. The take-home point from this question, so you too watching this video won't go and be asking same question, is you can't determine the actual kg 1,000 catfishes we consume at a time. Rather, you need to slowly feed your catfish. You can actually measure, scale the feed before feeding them, and scale the remaining one bag. By doing so, you have determined the actual kg they consume, but not having it at the back of your mind that I'm going to give them only 5 kg, and that is what you are going to continue. Like if your fishes are in fingerling stage, they eat lesser. As the fishes grow, their eating pattern increases. As their tummy widens up and their head becomes big, that is, their feed consumption rate increases immediately. Now, you might be using the 5 kg you have measured in January. You will think it will take them to the end of January. No. As they break, their feeding increases. They consume more feed on daily basis. Now, let's look at another question. another random question flying over Facebook. Now read it on the screen. Okay, read it. This person is asking that they feed one bag today. You continue with that one bag. The stage they are determine how level they are going to consume feed. So it's the same response. Now let's look at another question. Read it on the screen. How many should 5 moons eat? You see? Can you read that question? That question sounds funny, right? But we grab something. This person is actually saying that my fishes are now 5 moons. What size of feed am I going to be giving them? You know, in feed we have 2 mm, 3 mm, 4 mm, 6 mm, 8 mm, 9 mm, you know? So it's asking which of these is good enough for 5-month-old fish. Now, if your fishes are 5 months old already, they should be weighing at least 800 grams. At least that they didn't grow. They should be weighing 500 grams to 1 point something kg. Now, the feed you'll be giving them at this point in time is basically 9 mm. You can give them 6 mm, you can give them 8 or 9. These 3 types of feed, fishes at that stage can comfortably pick them, consume them. So your question now may vary when you now say that your fishes are not growing, see the sizes they are, what size of feed should I start giving them to make them grow? That becomes a different question. And our next video, we are going to treat that, okay? We have done justice to these few questions, and I know these are questions most farmers tend to ask, but many will shy away from asking them because of how Facebook users are going to react to those questions. Because looking at other questions people are asking on the group and how negatively people are reacting to them, many have questions to ask but will not be courageous enough. So we appreciate those that are making posts, asking questions. It's not easy. Now, I believe you have learned and understood how you are going to be feeding your catfish from this question. The feeding of your catfish does not depend whether you have 1,000 catfish, you go and scale 5 kg feed to give them. It doesn't work that way. It works really well when you know the stage your catfish is at the moment. That determines how they are going to consume feed, and that determines again the size of feed you are going to be giving them. Thank you, and see you in my next video.